Then press this temperature key here. Hold this for 8 seconds. Now we can see the temperature on the display, the real temperature, the setting temperature of T3. You can read the temperature during the run. It works, okay, it's fine. And also we can read the temperature of T1, T2, and T4. T1 is the lid on the chamber, T2 on the lid, T3 was on the condenser, and T4 is on the compressor. For example, we have an issue with the temperature sensor. You can check the temperature sensor with this procedure. For this, make a test run. Press this temperature key for a few seconds, and then you can read all temperature sensors. Switch. Okay, stop the device. No. That was the checking of the temperature sensor during the run. Now I will show you the initialization and the offset settings. It's a little bit difficult, but it works. For this, switch off the device. If you replace, I repeat, if you replace temperature sensor, you have to make an offset set. You have to adjust the offset settings. Or if you remove the front, the S control board also, you have to adjust the offset values. For this, we have to change the position of the jumper here. We have here on the right side the electronic boards with the jumpers. This first jumper is for the settings. Plug it on B0. Switch on the device for access to the offset menu. Now we are in the offset mode. Press this key here, and then you can change the offset value. So same procedure like the small centrifuges. If you need the values, please write us an email with the serial number and the type number of the device, and then we can send you the manufacturing protocol. On the manufacturing protocol, you can find the settings, the offset values. T1, T2, 3, and 4. Quite easy. Switch off the device and change the rotor position for the normaling mode. And the second important setting is initialization. For the you have to make an initialization in case of a replacement of the control board, frequency converter, or the electronic board. Very important. That's the first step. What you must. For this, change the position to be 1. You also find the positions in the service manual. Come on. B1, switch on the device again. This procedure here of the offset settings and the initialization is the same like the Rotosalenta and the Rotixas, the same one. Now we are in the init mode. Go to the init mode. With the program key, yes. Press the program key and then start the initialization with the start key. It's automatically first step, second step. It's also works. We have to wait. And that's it. The imbalance mode, it's not so important. The average temperature time, it's alike. The small one, small centrifuges. The lading time also. You can read these options also in the service manual. This was the init mode, this service mode. So, switch off and change the jumper position in the normal position. I repeat, if you replace the S control board, the frequency converter, or the electronics, we have to do initialization. And if you replace one of the sensors, temperature sensors, you have to make an offset setting. Okay. Okay. Well. So. We have here the swing out rotor. We have here on the back side the temperature sensor for the chamber. We have here a heating element. That's only an option. That's not a standard. This device can cools and heating up. We have here T1 on the lid and T2 in the chamber. The device measuring these two temperatures for the exactical good temperature value. We have on the left side of the device the temperature sensor T3 for the condenser. Very important. In case of a replacement, please install this sensor in this position and use this white paste for the heating transfer. We have here the electronic board, the green one. It's the same one like the Rotosalenta. We have here the frequency converter. You can see the nameplate of the frequency converter. On the nameplate is the serial number. We have here different versions. In the old Rotixar and Zolento. We have an alt frequency converter. In this case, you can make an upgrade. That means change a frequency converter with the converter kit. In this kit is the EEPROM for the control board included, the new frequency converter, and the connection cables. You can make an upgrade because the old frequency converter is not longer available as a spare part. So we have here on the back side, turn the connections of the motor with 3 phases. This heating element for the braking resistor. We have here T4, the temperature sensor on the compressor. We have here the twin version of the compressor, Y2 compressors, because we have here the standard voltage, 230 volts. That's the reason why we have here 2 compressors, because we cannot go directly off the compressors. We go smoothly, step by step. That's the reason for 2 compressors. Of course, 2 one condenser, 1 relay for each compressor. On the left side, we have here the capillary tube. The capillary tube makes the pressure for the liquid. We have here the valve, magnetic valve for the compressor, switch off, switch on. The dryer, the fan, and the motor of the fan. This one is the motor, the big one, and this here von der Seite geht das hier. Das ist a micro switch. This is a switch for the imbalance. Wackel mal Motor. In case of an imbalance or overloading, yeah, the motor touched the sensor and the device stops. For the adjustment, this is the adjustment screw. Go to the motor or go back. So, sorry. So, this is the adjustment screw. This is mechanical. That means insert as white, make a test run. It's okay, it's not okay. Adjust this screw, fix it, make a second test run. It works. It's fine. It not works. You have to repeat this procedure. What is important? If you replace the motor, in case of a replacement of the motor, you have to set the middle position of the motor, because we have a tolerance. If you don't set the motor position, in worst cases, the buckets cannot swing out smoothly. They touch the chamber, and in worst case, you get a crash. It's very important to set the middle position in case of a replacement of the motor itself. So we have here 2 gas springs. You can replace it from this side, but we also have a video for the replacement. I think we will finish on the beginning of 2020 next year, and then you can watch this video on the hub. The access for the hub, for the access to the hub, please write us an email, and we can pass the password and the account for you. That's it. Now we go to the next device, the rotor cylinder. The technical design is the same one, only the different thing is the size and the compressor. We have here a bigger chamber, 630 millimeters. What means RS? R is for the cooling refrigerant, S means the control board, S control board. We have at the Rotixa and the Zalenta the option with the head info. What is the head info with? And the device maker automatically run. After the run, you can store the test and the values on a database or on a local station. The different thing is the front panel. Of course, the connection, and second different thing is on the back side. We have here a connection cable for the patch, for the network. That's it. Quite easy. Machen wir mal die auf, oder? Mal die auf hinten. So, but we go to the standard cylinder without the head info. Seitenteile. Check. So, remove it. Now we can see a single compressor. It's a bigger. The big motor is the same imbalance switch. We have here the protection. Smooth starter for the motor. This is the standard model. We have also devices with the is not standard like the GMP version. In this case, you have to connect the cable by yourself at site on the customer. This is a connection. But in the standard model, we have this cable included. We have the temperature, the cooling system's same, a little bit bigger. The bigger condenser was 2 fans, but and the electronic one is the same one, like here. We have here the mains filter, the frequency converter, motor protection switch with the motor protection relay, electronic, the same like the Rotixa, and also the same technical design of the sensor. The lid lock is the same, only the size is different. That's it. It's also important in case of a replacement of the rotor, please set the middle point of the motor. It's not so easy to change the motor, but it works. We have a special tool. Now the connection, we have a question. It doesn't matter if if this one was the question. Does it matter if the three phases are clockwise or counterclockwise? It's important. It's important. Please follow this one, L1, L2, L3, because we have a frequency converter, and I think it's important for the frequency converter. We also have here L1, L2, L3. That's the reason. We have a German, or I think it's an international standard. Let's say all of three phases devices have to connect it from L2 to L3 and clockwise. It's an international standard. So that was the cylinder. Now we go to the head cube. The last, that was a cylinder at head info. It's quite easy. Oh, maybe I will show you the head info, the settings of the head info. It's also important. Switch on. Ständer. What is important to know about the head info? We have a service menu. I hope you can see it. Wir müssen es anders machen. Licht aus. Go to the settings. Settings. I change language. Serial number of the device. Was haben wir für eine Seriennummer? Okay, it was 1. No, passt. Ja. Just a second, I will change the language. So, where's the language? Besser. English. So, great. Go back. Switch off, switch on again. Just a second. Du musst es abbauen und von Hand halten. That has also a Linux database, Linux template. So we have here the gear for the settings. We can manage the datas. Oh, but we need the pin. What is the pin? The pin is the item number 0955 and the serial number. No, we have only 3 languages on the head info. We have Spanish, German, and English. The authorization pin is the article number 0955 and the last 4 digits of the serial number. In this case, we have the serial number 1 of our prototype 0001 and go. Now we can, for example, export all data from the device of a USB flash. What's this? 0955. That's too fast. Or import data. It means manual backup or make an automatical backup. You can set it. For example, every each run, they make a backup, or every week, every year. It's possible. Clear the database, or we can add a new operator IDs, the name, and so. Go back. What is very important in case of error, the error logbook is important. We have, it was today, we had the error message 0329. I'm not sure. I think it's a communication problem, but we have also a service manual for the head info. System informations for you. You can read the serial number, the version. Update, very important thing. You can make an update. The update, oh, it was not correct, sorry. It's not correct. You can make an update with the USB flash. It's possible. In meiner Tasche. But the settings is important for us. 0955, the last digits of the serial number. 01. So head info application. We can switch off this panel here or switch on this panel. If you want to work with only the S control board, you can switch off the head info application or switch on. If you switch on the application, you cannot change the settings with this key here. We can go to the head info settings, change these 3 languages here, change the date, time, the brightness of the screen, the alarm value, the scanner sound. It's also, you can also set the scanner alarm. And this is very important for the connection in the network. You can connect this device, the head info, with the local PC or the USB flash or directly to the network. For this, you have to set the IP address, the net mask, and the gateway from the customer. And then the head info connected automatically with the customer's network. You can make automatic database, for example. That's the destination for the automatic database USB flash or the network. If the network, yes, we need the IP address, the domain, and in which times, for example, 10, working past 10, and the time for the automatically storage of the database. That's it. It's not so, yeah, it's easy, not so, yeah. That was the head info. That's only the different thing. I'll repeat, the password is the item number, the 0955, and the last 4 digits of the serial number. So, our last device for today is the incubator, our head cubes. We have 6 different versions. 6 different versions means we have the head cube 200, 200R, 400, 400R, and 600 and 600R. What means this number here? This is a volume of the inside. We have here 400 liters. And the 2 we have only 200 liters, and the biggest one 600 liters. In the inside of the head cube. We have here 2 options, one glass door option, like here, and one normally door is closed without a glass. We also have here a touch panel with a Linux template. On the front, we have here a USB port and a switch on, switch off. On the door, we have a magnet and a sensor here. They announce the door is closed or open. You can set the alarm. For example, if the door is longer than 10 seconds open, they head cube shows an error message. We have here protection. You can protect this one with this switch here. Switch on the device. We have here EVD and a medical device certificate. It's one of the highest incubators on the market because it's very small. For this design, we have 400 liters. It's not so loud. The compressor is very noisy, and you can set everything with this panel here. You can create a program, for example, of a program for a week, for a year or month. You can program the start temperature, for example, on the first 2 hours from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can set 25 degrees, and after 10 a.m. you can set, for example, 25 degrees and go higher or go deeper automatically. So power failure error. It's only error message. Switch off. Now the device runs. That means this circle here. Stop it. So for example, for the program, you can see everything here. For the manually mode, press this 3 here and set, for example, 37 degrees and start. The device heats to 74 degrees. We have only a temperature tolerance of ±1 degree. Switch off. This is a hand mode, it's a manual mode, or we can go to this, and sorry, that was the first. Yes. To this one, and we can create a program. But more details you can read in the user manual. So, the service manual. Gib mal den Ständer. So, mal quick. Okay, Dankeschön. So, we can here set the tolerance band, that's the alarm. The temperature, you can set the temperature in Celsius or Fahrenheit also. But the important thing for us is the service dashboard. The pin is 2511 and the last digits of the serial number. In this case, we have the serial number 1110. 1110. So, in case of an error, firstly, what do you do? Or the first important step is to reset events. If you have an error message, please reset firstly the events, because the HMI, this one, the touch panel, store the last error message and show you usually always the error message. Clear the events to be sure that all is clear, and if the error message occurs after the clear of the resends, it's maybe one part is defective. That's the first step. What do you do? In case of a, for example, error of 51, it means one of the temperature sensors is defective. You can show or read the detailed temperature sensors. Press this one, and now we can see the temperature values of the two sensors. We have here two sensors. One is a normal sensor, and the second one is a E2C sensor. They have the same. Here it works. And we can also make an import-export of datas. We have here the serial number. It's also important. If you replace the front panel or the electronic card, you have to set the serial number with this point here. Again, it's very important. And make a software update. That's it. That's only the important points for you. So now we go inside to the device, switch off the device. We have here in the front panel, and behind the front panel is a filter. For the removal of the front panel, we have to remove firstly this cover here, because we have on the back side of this front panel two screws. One see on the left side, and the second one is on the right side. So, but we removed this before, and then you can only pull it here. One screw for the first screw and one hole for the second screw. It's very important. For removal of this front here, you have to unscrew two screws, left side on the right side, and then you can lift it up like a car. Remove or unscrew three screws for the cover here from the back side. Here, three screws, 1, 2, 3, and remove it. And now we can see the compressor the condenser with the fan. Here, this switch here is very important. In case this is our current switch, our voltage switch, or protection for our current over voltage. If you don't have voltage, please check firstly this one. If it's off, you can switch on again, and then it works. It don't work, you have maybe an issue on the electronic board. So here, under this black box here, okay. We have here something like glue. So we have here the condenser completely, and here two fans. Here from this side go to the flows the air inside to the head cube and go from here to the outside. So, können wir drehen. So, remove it. Now we can see here the electronic card. We have here two, because we have here option. Standard is only with a card. We have here the input 24 volts. It works with 24 volts. And here, this is a touch. The device. Touch panel. We have here, kannst du hier kommen? There's two sensors. Siehst nix? This is the two sensors, the red one and this one. They're measuring the airflow and the temperature inside of the head cube. Last thing, we have here on the back side a hole. You can, for example, connect a device or put a device in the head cube, and the cable you can goes from this hole and connect it with the back side. Because we have here in this option on the back side left 230 volt. You can connect it a device, for example, on this head cube. So that was the training for today. If you have questions, please let us know. Write it into the chat. And if you don't have questions, We go forward tomorrow with the maintenance on the device. Thank you for your attention. If you don't have questions, see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you.